Phala Phala is not dead. Malema hits back at Steenhuisen, says DA is using VBS to destroy EFF. Economic Freedom Fighters EFF leader Julius Malema has called out the leaked affidavit of VBS's former chair, CEO Matodzi, to be a sponsored propaganda aimed at defocusing his party. Malema was responding to the news, specifically to the DA, that the VBS bank looting scandal was bigger than the Phala Phala saga. He was also hitting back at allegations made by Matodzi that the EFF leaders had benefited from the VBS money. Malema was addressing the media at the Good Hope Chambers in Parliament on Thursday. A leaked affidavit by the bank's former CEO Matodzi claimed that Shivambu ordered him to make payments via Sgameka, a company owned by Brian Shivambu, a brother of Floyd Shivambu, and that he and Malema accepted illegal benefits. On Wednesday, the DA leader John Steenhuisen said that the VBS scandal was far worse than Phala Phala. He added that they won't support or vote for any motion by the EFF against President Cyril Ramaphosa on the farmgate issue, where millions of dollars were reportedly stashed in his furniture. Steenhuisen also took a swipe at the EFF leader, saying they used the money for no good reason. The money was not spent on social good, projects that would uplift and save the poor. Instead, it was spent on luxury items, sludges at the Durban July on the campaign, and other luxury goods. It shows that the EFF has no intentions to be the vanguard of the poor. This is a mask that they use to justify the types of activities that they get up to, he said. However, responding to this, Malema believes that Ramaphosa pushed the Government of National Unity GNU set up so that the DA does not come for him. He added that it was opportunistic for the DA to say it would not vote with them for Ramaphosa's impeachment because of VBS. When we were voting in favor of the Phala Phala impeachment report, the VBS story was there. There is no new story that is stopping them to vote with the EFF. They are using VBS to abandon their own stance for expediency, but equally they are using Phala Phala to hold Ramaphosa accountable because every time he tries to move, they will mention Phala Phala, he said. He further vowed to launch a new investigation into the matter, stating that Phala Phala is not dead. If it means bringing it afresh, where we have to constitute a new panel to make investigations, we will use the previous panel's recommendations as evidence to the new one and then come back and vote again. Furthermore, he mentioned that the GNU will not last longer than expected. On the other hand, Gwarube wants the BELA bill reviewed. Newly appointed Basic Education Minister Siviwe Gwarube is hoping President Cyril Ramaphosa will take ahead of the request to refer the contentious Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill BELA Bill back to Parliament. The amendment bill was passed by the National Assembly in May and only awaited the President's signature. The DA, other political parties and civil organizations had rejected the bill and threatened to challenge it in court. The ANC, SA Democratic Teachers Union SADTU, and other unions supported the bill under former Minister INJIBS. Gwarube is hoping Ramaphosa will allow for the bill to be reviewed and those parts that were rejected to be fixed. She said the bill should be revised to avoid hindering pupils' futures with outdated legislation. We don't want to throw the entire bill out, but there are sections of the bill that we're very much against. fix the areas that are problematic that speak to the powers of the SGBs, school government bodies, but also we've got to keep certain elements that talk about getting ECD's early childhood development formally into the system. At a media briefing on Wednesday ahead of the opening of the parliament, DA leader and MP John Steenhuisen said while their new role may have evolved, their party has not changed. This means that we will continue to fight against problematic national policies and legislations such as the National Health Insurance Act (NHI), the Basic Education Law Amendment BELA bill, and any proposal which is anti-constitutional or seeks to divide and regress South Africans, he said. Deputy academic leader of the School of Education at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Professor Vimolan Mudali, said important sections in the bill needed to be addressed. It will be interesting to see how the DA-aligned minister navigates through the bill. Hopefully, the highest educational achievement for our learners will always be the goal, and Parliament sees the sense in meritoriously accepting or rejecting all or part of the bill, he said. Action SA Chief Whip Lerato Ngobeni said they had long argued that the BELA bill was a flawed legislative attempt to camouflage the structural deficiencies of the education system resulting from the decades of systematic mismanagement. The minister's communicated intentions comes as a relief following the stubborn posture taken by the ANC in the 6th administration. From disempowering parents and SGBs to the blanket lifting of the ban on the sale of alcohol at schools, granting DBE unilateral powers to set a school's language, the ill-thought-out introduction of compulsory grade R, and the outdated use of the socio-economic impact assessment, which does not adequately estimate the fiscal and economic impact of implementing the bill. These are some of the reasons why this bill must urgently be sent back to Parliament for revision, said Ngobeni. Build One South Africa BOSA leader Musi Maimane said the public education system needed a full overhaul to dismantle the dual system that exists. The immediate steps should include scrapping the 30% pass mark for subjects and scrapping the BELA bill. Solidarity Research Institute researcher John Steenhuisen also feels the bill should be reviewed and said the clauses dealing with language and admission policy were rejected. Solidarity Research Institute researcher John Steenhuisen also feels the bill should be reviewed and said the clauses dealing with language and admission policy were rejected. The immediate steps should include scrapping the 30% pass mark for subjects and scrapping the BELA bill. Solidarity Research Institute researcher John Steenhuisen also feels the bill should be reviewed and said the clauses dealing with language and admission policy were rejected. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.